So let's talk about a feeling that's, well, it's kind of quiet, but it's huge. It's that slow, creeping sense that you're losing interest in everything. It's not just being bored, it's when life itself starts to feel like it's in grayscale. We're going to unpack what's really going on when you feel this way. You know that feeling when your absolute favorite food just tastes like calories? Or when a call from your best friend feels less like a treat and more like a task on your to do list? Dr. MD has this perfect way of putting it. It's like life has lost its masala, its spice. All the right ingredients are there, but the kick, the flavor, it's just gone. You're basically just moving through the motions of your own life.
Okay, first things first, and this is so important to get. That feeling of numbness, it is not a personal failure. It doesn't mean you're lazy, you're ungrateful, or broken. Think of it more like a check engine light. It's a biological and a psychological signal. Your entire system is waving a giant red flag, trying to tell you, hey, something's out of balance here.
So, to figure this all out, we're going to go on a kind of diagnostic journey, starting from the outside and working our way in. And the first step is just to acknowledge the feeling itself. That quiet, hollow ache when the things that used to light you up just don't anymore. It's a really unsettling place to be, but believe me, it is incredibly common. Our journey begins in the most concrete, tangible place possible, your physical body. Yeah, before we dive into all the complex stuff happening in the mind, it's often our day-to-day habits and our basic biology that hold the first and maybe the most important clues to why that spark has gone out. And what's wild is how normal these habits look, right? Binge watching a show till 2 in the morning, ordering takeout because you're tired, sitting at a desk all day for work. Dr. MD calls these silent mood killers. They don't feel like a big deal in the moment, but day after day, they slowly chip away at your energy. And then there's predictability. If every single day is a carbon copy of the lost, your brain just doesn't get the novelty it needs to stay fired up. And listen, this isn't just some vague wellness talk. These routines have direct chemical effects on you. Staying up late messes with your dopamine system. That's the chemical of motivation. All that processed food, it leads to massive energy crashes. And sitting all day can literally slow down your brain's processing speed. Each one of these habits is like a tiny leak in your energy tank.
But okay, what if you've cleaned up your routine? You're going to bed on time, you're eating well, but you still feel flat. This is where we have to look a little deeper at something a lot of us totally overlook. The problem might not be in your habits or even in your head. It could literally be hiding in your blood.
Your body is this incredibly complex machine, right? And sometimes one tiny little deficiency can throw the whole system out of whack. If you're low on vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin, that's directly linked to your mood. Low B12 can cause this deep fatigue and apathy. And if your thyroid hormones are off, it can feel exactly like depression. So yeah, sometimes the answer isn't some deep psychological issue, it's a simple biological glitch.
All right, so let's say your physical health is all good. Your blood work comes back clean. Our little diagnostic journey now takes us one layer deeper to the body's internal command center, your nervous system. Because in the world we live in today, this system is almost always completely overloaded.
Albasa Rehab and Wellness has a great name for this: nervous system burnout. The best way to think about it is like a computer that's had way too many tabs open for way too long. It starts to lag, it overheats, and eventually it just can't perform its basic functions. Constant deadlines, overthinking, emotional stress, it exhausts your system until it physically cannot switch off. And if you can't relax, you can't feel joy.
Here's why. Your nervous system basically has two modes, a gas pedal and a brake pedal. The gas pedal is your fight or flight response. It's for survival. The brake is your rest and digest mode. It's for recovery and joy. The problem is, modern life has our foot slammed on the gas pedal 24/7. We get stuck in survival mode, and we literally forget how to use the brake. And without that balance, joy just isn't possible. Now, being constantly on like this creates another huge problem: dopamine resistance. Our brains are just flooded with these cheap, easy hits of dopamine from things like social media scrolling and junk food. It's like adding 5 spoons of sugar to your coffee every single day. Eventually, a normal cup of coffee with no sugar tastes bitter and bland, right? Your brain does the same thing. It becomes less sensitive. So normal, healthy pleasures like a walk outside or a chat with a friend, they just don't give you that rewarding feeling anymore. So how in the world do you fix this? You give your brain a reset. And it doesn't have to be some extreme thing. You can start really small. Just switch your phone off for 1 hour a day. That's it. Let your brain's receptors heal. The next time you want to buy something online or eat a cookie, just wait 10 minutes. It rebuilds your self-control. And try something new that's not on a screen for just 10 minutes. It reminds your brain that joy can be found in the real world. But what if you've done all that? You've checked your health, you've reset your nervous system, and that deep feeling of emptiness is still there. Well, this is where our journey takes us into the deepest, most complex territory of all, the idea that maybe our own mind has become the problem.
Sadhguru tells this really stark and frankly tragic story about a TV anchor in Hyderabad, and her final words are just haunting. They perfectly capture what so many people feel. It's that shocking, terrifying realization that this incredible tool we all have, the human brain, can actually turn on us and become our enemy.
And this leads us to Sadhguru's absolute core insight. He argues that most of the time, we're not actually suffering from the reality of our life in this moment. We're suffering because of our own advanced mental abilities, these amazing faculties that no one ever taught us how to properly use. And as you can see, it really comes down to two main culprits. First, our incredible memory. It lets us relive and suffer from something that happened 10 years ago as if it were happening right now. And second, our fantastic imagination. It lets us create and suffer from 1,000 different futures that will probably never, ever happen. We get stuck between a past we can't change and a future we can't control, and we completely miss the only thing that's real, right now. Now, this idea of the mind trapping us connects perfectly to something the psychologist Carl Jung talked about. He called it the persona. It's basically the social mask we all wear to fit in. And our hobbies? A lot of the time, they aren't just for fun. They're tools we use to build up this identity. We become the artist or the gym rat or the high achiever. These activities help us prove who we think we're supposed to be.
But what happens when that mask starts to feel really, really heavy? Well, our motivation changes. As Fractal Wisdom explains, our old hobbies were often fueled by the ego. We needed validation, posting our art to get likes. But as we evolve, we start looking for things fueled by something deeper, something internal. We start painting just because we love the feeling of mixing colors. It shifts from feeling like a performance to feeling like you're just being.
And this is a powerful, powerful reframe. Losing interest in those old hobbies isn't a sign that you're broken. It could actually be a sign that you are becoming free. You're being liberated from the exhausting, never-ending job of having to perform and prove yourself to the world. So this brings us to our final stop. How do we navigate this void? The key is to stop trying to fix it, to stop seeing it as a problem, and to start seeing it as a necessary, even a sacred, transition. That empty feeling is a message. It's not where you're going to live forever. As the Source Inner Shift puts it, your entire system, your mind, your energy, your heart, is rearranging itself. The old you is running out of juice, making way for someone new. The things that used to excite you feel dull because you're literally not on that frequency anymore. And this, right here, might be the single most important takeaway from all of this. This hollow, empty period isn't some kind of cosmic punishment. You didn't do anything wrong. It is a quiet, internal preparation. It's your soul clearing out the clutter of who you thought you were to make space for who you are truly becoming.
So I want to leave you with this final question to think about. What if this feeling of having lost interest in everything isn't a sign that your life is over? What if it's the quiet, uncomfortable, and absolutely essential sign that your real life is just about to begin?